Michigan Hoof Beats traveled to the Midland County Fair in Midland, Michigan, and we were greeted by rain and more rain and a track that was unsuitable for racing. It was very, very muddy and very, very deep. Why, even the track manager, Charlie Klein, tried to do all he could to get this track in shape, but alas, the rain won out. But no, somehow I think it's going to be a sunny day right when you come back to Michigan Hoof Beats.
Michigan Hoof Beats, highlighting the best of harness racing at the fairs. Michigan Hoof Beats, brought to you by the Michigan Harness Horsemen's Association, the Michigan Standardbred Breeders Association, Hazel Park Raceway, the Bonley Farm, Oldfield Farm, the Great Lakes Sales Company, and the Cole Hair Clinic.
This is week 8 of Michigan Fair Racing, and today we highlight the 2-year-old pacing fillies in the Spartan Futurity, going for a total purse of $26,000. Hi everybody, I'm Marty Adler, and on this afternoon show, we are going to make you laugh, we're going to make you cry, and we're going to stimulate your mind. Now, when can you say a television show ever did that to a horseman? On this afternoon show, we catch up with the governor of the state of Michigan, John Engler, meet one of the best owners a trainer could ever have, say goodbye to a Michigan horseman who passed away suddenly this week, check in with the winningest trainer at Hazel Park over the past decade, and have some fun trying to figure out harness racing terminology. But first, the races this afternoon are a rescheduling of a washed-out affair just 2 days ago. We're at the Midland County Fair in Midland, Michigan, with a man that has been respected in this state for what he does and what he believes in. He is the race secretary here at Midland, and he is also the treasurer of the county fair. This is Charlie Klein. How you doing, Charlie?
Great, except for a little rain.
Yeah, we had rain earlier. I can't believe it was pouring when we got here. And what do? Went right out there in the middle of the rain, and you actually dug a ditch. What were you doing?
Trying to get the water off the track.
And we had people calling up saying, are the races canceled? Are the races canceled? And no, thanks to Charlie doing his thing.
That's great.
Is that how you work here at the Midland County Fair?
Yes, sir.
It looks like you take care of everything. Now, what are we going to find at the Midland County Fair? First of all, the fair itself.
Well, the fair itself, we have about 2,000 4-H club members here with all their exhibits, and that's a summer's work for them, so they make a little there. We got about 700 people at camp out here all week. They bring their families, they stay here all week. Of course, we got a new midway, or a big midway, and we got a brand new grandstand over there.
Beautiful, that grandstand. Thanks a lot, Charlie Klein. Good luck with the fair.
Okay, thank you.
If there was ever a man who has to have it done his way, it's Charlie Klein. You gotta love him. Well, we're in Midland, Michigan. Let's check out the city.
Midland is located in the middle of Michigan. In 1890, Herbert Henry Dow founded the Dow Chemical Company, which today, along with its sister Dow Corning, is the largest employer in the county. The downtown blends the heritage of a working-class environment with the modern sophistication of arts and culture. Come to Midland for a day, and you'll want to spend the night.
And we are bringing you this afternoon the Spartan Futurity for 2-year-old pacing fillies. There are 2 divisions, 8 horses in each division. The first 4 finishers in each division, competing for $7,800, will return a second time this afternoon and compete for $10,400.
In the first elimination, here is the field. Number 1 is the bestest. 2 is She Be Dancing. 3 is Radiator. 4 is Raider Arms. 5 is Silver Club. 6 Desirable Lady, and 7 Laser GT. And in the first elimination, it was Silver Club putting on a dazzling performance as the 2-year-old filly by Silver Elmhurst went 3 wide at the 3/4 pole, and she downed She Be Dancing, who finished second, and the bestest, who was third. Silver Club is owned by Alexander, Pope, and Westhauser, trained and driven by Brent Alexander, who drove the 2-year-old filly to victory in 2:02 and 3. Now here is the field for the second elimination. Number 1 is Red Hot Summer. 2, Hoochie Mama. 3 is Long's Apache. 4 is Blizzard Babe. 5 is You Stole My Heart. 6, Vine Burner. And 7, SF Charge It. And in the second elimination, it was Red Hot Summer who was red hot on this afternoon as catch driver Butch Dokie took her to the front and led every step of the way, winning by 3 lengths over Long's Apache and You Stole My Heart. Red Hot Summer is a 2-year-old filly by Vine Street and took a new lifetime record of 2:01 for owner-trainer Rod Lorenzo.
So the first 4 finishers will be back in just a little while in the final to go a second time, competing for $10,400. Now, when we return, we're going to show you how we caught up with Governor John Engler and got his undivided attention for 3.5 minutes, talking exclusively about the state of racing in the state of Michigan. When we return, here on Michigan Hoof Beats.
The Michigan Harness Horsemen's Association has been serving the needs of Michigan horsemen for over 50 years. Certified by the Michigan Office of the Racing Commissioner, the MHHA negotiates horsemen's contracts and functions as a liaison with the county fairs. It supports youth programs and provides scholarship opportunities. The MHHA informs those interested in harness racing with its monthly magazine and now its all-new website. Check us out at ambersystems.com MHHA. The MHHA. Isn't it time you join?
Trying to get to the winner's circle? Well, then your ride awaits at Oldfield Farms. Oldfield will sell over 45 yearlings at the Great Lakes Standard Bred Sale. They represent the top sires in Michigan, including world champion Silver Almahurst, leading trotting sire Wall Street Banker, and 5-time leading pacing sire Armbro Cadet. If you want to win across the border, you'll arrive in style. Michigan breds are winning everywhere, setting track records and returning home with big purse checks. To preview your future, call the farm at 517-436-3179. Then all you have to do is raise your hand and be ready to chase your dream.
On Michigan Farms, we grow racehorses that compete and win all over the world. Exciting, rewarding racehorses, an absorbing and thrilling pursuit your family can share and love. An exhilarating investment with rewards beyond money. Find out how you can own a racehorse. Call toll-free 1-888-898-6442. Michigan Standard Bred Breeders Association. We grow racehorses for you and the rest of the world.
The horses are at the post, the starting gate is rolling, and they're off at Hazel Park Harness Raceway. Harness racing action at its best at Hazel Park Harness Raceway. Planning a party? Try the clubhouse. The odds are good you'll have a great time. Live racing Monday to Saturday. Post time, 7:45. Simulcast wagering every day. Doors open at 11:30 a.m. Hazel Park Harness Raceway, 10 Mile to Quinder.
This is Michigan Hoof Beats, and we're at the Midland County Fair today, bringing you the Spartan Futurity. In just a moment or two, we'll have the post parade of the 8 fillies in the final for $10,400. Now, on our way to Midland, we happened to stop in Frankenmuth, Michigan, and happened upon the governor of the state, John Engler, and received his undivided attention as we asked him about the state of racing here in Michigan.
Well, it's obviously very challenged right at the moment. We've got some real serious issues that face the industry. I mean, with the closing of DRC coming up, with Ladbroke, now I think clearly came in hoping they'd be in the gambling business, since they're not going to be in the horse racing business either. And then that has an impact on the thoroughbred side, on the harness side. There's still a number of things that have been done. We changed the law, and I think certainly the simulcast has helped, but we still want to have a strong Michigan-based industry. There's an awful lot of people who are on farm, who are involved in the industry, from the breeding side to the track and even the back of the tracks. I mean, there's an awful lot of men and women who work there who've got special and unique skills, and that's what they've done, and it would be a shame to see that industry driven out by organized gambling.
With the proliferation of casinos, how do you see the future of the sport of racing?
Well, there are examples, certainly, and some of the states have seen some resurgence in both the harness tracks and in the racing industry. I'd like to see that. It's a historic industry in this state. It goes back an awfully long time, but we frankly need some facilities, and we need some ownership that's committed to making it competitive. I mean, that's what has to happen when you've got an industry where the demographics are working very, very much against the industry's future. And when you go to a track, you'll see the age of the people who are there. It isn't something that's bringing the Generation X crowd out. It isn't bringing the baby boomers out particularly. And so, some of that promotion and marketing skill might make a big difference.
You currently don't have a racing commissioner. What's your game plan for that?
Well, Dan Wyatt is an outstanding director of the department, and I've asked Dan. I mean, the issues are so serious, and we lost a good man when Nelson Westren went over to the casino gambling issue to sort that out, and Nelson put the deputies who are really on the day-to-day basis in place. They're good people, but I've asked Dan to really let's keep talking with the industry leadership. And I mean, if there's any silver lining, it's probably that there's more willingness on all parts of the industry today to talk to each other and be at the same table, and that has, unfortunately, I think we paid a heavy price for past disagreements in the industry.
Just two more questions. One is the industry is looking for a level playing field with the casinos. It has been proven in other states that having machines in the racetracks, which right now there's parking there, they are regulated. What is your position on perhaps having slots inside the racetracks?
Tracks are not going to become casinos.
They won't become a casino, but
That's right, they won't.
But are the slots a possibility or not at all in your mind?
We find the slots at the casinos. We find the racing at the tracks.
Okay, and the two don't mix in your mind?
They do not.
Okay, and one final thing. There is legislation pending, I understand, to take out more money, or at least Michigan, in the racing industry, takes out less money on exotic wagers than any other state. And that extra money could go towards the industry in the form of purses and promotion. What is your plan for passing that legislation?
Well, everything's on the table. I mean, we're going to continue to work with the industry, and I think, when simulcasting was passed, there was a lot of hope, and it has been helpful. It's also, though, raised the handle at some of the tracks without doing much for the actual live horse racing that's going on.
I guess the industry is just looking for a time frame, that's all. Any time frame how long this would take?
Well, we don't have a legislature in session right now, so nothing can happen. I suspect that this is part of an overall strategy. Thank you.
I really appreciate your time.
The governor certainly does know there is a racing community out there, but it's up to all of us to keep him aware of it. Now, in this week's Hazel Park Report, there is a trainer that has been on top of the heat for the longest period of time. We'd like you to meet him now. His name, Gordon Norris.
Welcome to Fowlerville and the modest but efficient 20-acre farm of one of the most successful trainers the state of Michigan has ever seen. Every morning at the crack of dawn, Gordon can be found behind the desk, planning his strategy while his wife Diane joins in with the coffee, the support, and the conversation.
Oh, yeah. She's my partner. Well, she's my owner. She's my biggest owner right now. She's my partner for sure. Speedway Jackie, that's the one horse that got me on my way. He was a nice horse. I got him and started winning the invites, and through him we got enough money to put a down payment on this farm, and through him we got a lot more horses to train. So he's probably the favorite horse because he got me rolling. We've had a lot of nice horses. One of them was Covert Action. We sold him for $100,000. He went on and made $1 million, and everybody says, "Well, why? Aren't you sorry you sold him?" I says, "No." Well, this horse is named CR Royal Flush, and he set a world record at Northville last winter in February, actually.
The farm is a beehive of activity, but even so, how is it that Gordon Norris has been so successful for so many years?
I think I heard something once that John Kennedy said you have to surround yourself with smart people. I try to surround myself with smart horsemen, and it seems to work.
Gordon Norris now finds a lifestyle that suits both he and his wife, and seems to have the best of all worlds.
Me and Diane said if we ever got our kids out of school, we were going to go to Florida.
I do. I enjoy everything I do now. I do what I want to do. So.
Do you like the idea of Florida in the wintertime?
Oh, very much so. We love Florida. I like Florida very well. I used to be a groom. I used to take care of the horses and that. I don't do that anymore. I used to be the bookkeeper, and I don't do that anymore. So I just kind of an owner. I clean up the farm and work around here, do feeding sometimes and that.
Gordon has made his niche at the parimutuel tracks like Hazel Park and Pompano in Florida. But what about his thoughts on the Michigan Fair circuit?
I think it's really, really good. It's getting better, and I think we don't have many this year. I think we've been racing about 4 out there, but next year we have like 10 or 12 of them to break that's going to be Michigan bred, so we'll be pretty active next year. Marty, I don't know. I've had so much luck. I feel so fortunate that I've done so well that it'd be hard for me to pick out just one thing that's really, the highlight or like one race or something. So.
Gordon and Diane Norris have certainly invested dearly in this sport and are worthy of all the rewards that they have received. Now, another person who has invested dearly in this sport is at the other end of the scale. His name was Billy Watts, and this past week, Billy Watts tragically passed away.
Billy Watts was a one-of-a-kind. He loved the sport of harness racing and was loved by everyone he touched.
Billy Watts was a great man. He was a great horseman. He drove horses for many years. He was a stand-up comedian. He made everybody laugh, and once you got to meet him, it was as if you knew him for years. He'd be sadly missed. I always called him Billy White Shoes because he wore patent leather boots as he drove. Good man.
Whether breaking and driving a trotter or making his own homegrown video on how to buy a racehorse, Billy could make you laugh and put a smile on your face.
We're back at the Midland County Fair, now set to bring you the post parade for the Spartan Futurity Final for 2-year-old pacing fillies and a purse of $10,400.
Now here's the field for the final of the Spartan Futurity. Number 1 is Silver Club, the driver Brent Alexander. 2 is Red Hot Summer with Butch Dokie. 3 is Long's Apache, the driver Ray Kinney. 4 is She Be Dancing with Dwayne Miner. 5 is The Bestest, the driver Rex Putnam Jr. 6 is You Stole My Heart with Mark Webster. 7, Raider Arms, the driver Tim Roach. And 8 is Vineburner, the driver Wally McElmurray Jr.
Janet Zick is the owner of Vineburner. We had a chance to talk with her in the backstretch.
We got Vineburner at the Adrian sale.
How much did she cost you?
$7,000.
What is the most fun that you have when racing on the Michigan Sire Stakes?
Going into the winner's circle. That's the most fun.
All right, good. Thanks for the interview. Rod Lorenzo is the trainer of Red Hot Summer. We had a chance to talk with him in the backstretch. Rodney, I wonder if you can tell me a little bit about Red Hot Summer. How did she come into your possession?
We raised her, Marty. We owned her mother. She had an unfortunate, she broke a pastern. So we bred her.
And you end up getting Red Hot Summer.
Red Hot Summer. This is the second fold out of some summertime. Real happy with her size, seeing how her brother was on the small side. For her, the family seems to grow a little more between the 3- and 4-year-old years, so real happy with her size.
Well, good luck with Red Hot Summer. We'll be seeing you throughout the summer, I'm sure.
Thanks, Marty. Okay.
1998 marks the debut of offspring of a new sire standing in Michigan. That sire is Silver Elmerhurst. He stands at the Oldfield Farm. One of his offspring, a 2-year-old in this upcoming race, is Silver Club. We had a chance to chat with co-owner Troy Pope.
We got Silver Club at the Lansing auction. We give $6,500 for her. From there on, she's been racing pretty good for us.
Now, horse racing isn't your primary business. What do you do in real life?
Well, I work at King Car Golf. I'm a salesman, and try to sell golf equipment. Golf's so big right now, so.
You must love racing on the fair circuit, but doesn't it interfere a little bit with your work?
Well, actually, it's really easy to work around my schedule because it's usually weekends, and at the fairs I race during the week, so it's pretty easy to get out of work and take my days off during the week.
Okay, let me tell you about Troy. I've worked with him for a few years. I know him very well. He talks about his horse a lot, takes us to the track, see him once in a while. He leaves work early, comes in late, takes some days off to go visit him.
Now, what kind of a filly is Silver Club, and how do you think she's going to do today?
Well, she's a pretty game filly. She races from behind. Last start she cut the mile, but she likes coming off the pace a little bit. She seems a little more game off the pace. I think she should do pretty good today.
Troy Pope is just another owner who is having a wonderful time racing a horse on the Michigan Fair circuit. Now, up next, an owner that just about any trainer would love to have. His name is Dwayne Chippy, and we caught him at his work in Cass City.
This is Dwayne Chippy. It's early morning, and he has just arrived at work, checking out the trucks or the staff inside the garage. Dwayne usually starts his day at work and ends it at the track.
Mr. Chip's Food Stores, they're throughout the thumb here, and we're a gasoline and fuel oil and propane distributor, and we have some party stores, and I come down here about 7:30 in the morning and stay till as long as they need me, and then I leave and go out and do a little farming, and then we go to the races if we're racing. Well, we used to go to the fair tracks and watch them at the fairs, and then I went to Hazel Park a lot, and so we decided to buy a horse, and I think in about 1978 we bought our first one. We raced a horse Turbo Twin. I think it was 1990. was a great horse, and we had a lot of fun with him. But we have a son, a Turbo Twin, and he's been equally as good so far.
Dwayne credits all his success and his fun to trainer Al Tomlinson.
Al Thomason is probably the hardest working man that I know. He requires very little sleep. He works very, very hard. He trains his own, or shoes his own horses. He does everything put near himself.
We're just moments away from the $10,400 final of the Wolverine Futurity for 2-year-old fillies. But first, as the Michigan Hoof Beats crew travels around the state promoting the trotters and the pacers, we thought we'd come to Frankenmuth, Michigan to find out what people on the street know about the sport of harness racing. All right, Dave, what is a tongue tie?
A tongue tie, I would think, would be something that ties your tongue.
A tie with tongues all over it.
Tongue tie is when you don't have anything to say.
A tongue tie is when trying to say something, but you can't quite say it because, I don't know.
A tongue tie is when you're trying to say something and it won't come out right, and all these words get jumbled together and your tongue gets tied.
No, it's a new fancy tie that has a lot of tongues on it.
So, trainer Al Tomlinson, tell us, what really is a tongue tie?
A tongue tie. They come in leather, they come in cloth. We wrap it around the horse's tongue, tie it under the jaw. Some of them, we also pull the tongue out of the mouth. And the reason being, the horse will ball that tongue up during a race or going to the gate. They will choke. It's just a real safety feature for me.
And now we all know what a tongue tie is. Well, today's race is at a distance of 1 mile. Since this is a half-mile track, the horses will start in front of the grandstand and go around 2 times, finishing up right in front of the grandstand. 1 mile. Well, the horses are now in the hands of the starter, and what we're going to do is turn you over to track announcer Brett Boyd, starter Richard Roth, and the record is 159-1 for 2-year-old pacing fillies. Let's see how they'll do on this wonderful day.
And here they come. They're off and pacing, and it's Red Hot Summer charging out for the lead. Long's Apache in the center of the track, and up on the far outside, She Be Dancing. Heading around the first turn, along the inside, that's Silver Club, who keeps the hole closed, racing in 4th. Vineburner gets away in 5th. The Bestest rolls to the inside 6th. Raider Arms is 7th. And You Stole My Heart can see them all as they head to the first quarter. On top of the field, it's Butch Dokie and Red Hot Summer chugging along on the choo-choo. She's there on top in 29 1/5. Long's Apache a length farther back in second. She Be Dancing parked on the outside, but at this point in no hurry in third. Silver Club is locked up on the inside 4th. Vineburner racing 5th. Raider Arms tips to the outside, third over in 6th. The Bestest is 7th. You Stole My Heart trails the field, half down and half to go, and they're all chasing Red Hot Summer, cruising along with a 2-length lead. Long's Apache down along the rail, racing in second. She Be Dancing's hanging tough on the outside third. Halftime, 1 minute 2/5, and Silver Club desperately looking for real estate on the inside third. Vineburner's 3 wide in 4th to the 3/4. It's Red Hot Summer now to a drive with the lead. Long's Apache comes off the rail in second. Silver Club is right there and ready to pounce in third. The top 3 draw off by 3 on the field. Red Hot Summer bracing for the attack at the rail. Long's Apache on the outside, and Silver Club coming at him and coming on 3 wide. Off the turn they head for home. Red Hot Summer's looking for the wire. Silver Club on the far outside. These 2 fillies battle it out, and it's Silver Club and Red Hot Summer. Red Hot Summer hanging on to win the Spartan Futurity.
The story here was rail control. Red Hot Summer went to the front and led every step of the way, while the other division winner, Silver Club, shook loose at the 3/4 pole, but was not up to it on this day, as Red Hot Summer wins the Spartan Futurity in 2:01.1. We'll be back with more from the Midland County Fair on Michigan Hoof Beats.
11 a.m., September 12th, Michigan State University. It's all you need to know to be a part of harness racing history. Great Lakes Standard Bred Sales Company will be at that place in time to present its Select Yearling Sale. Over 150 yearlings representing Michigan's top breeding establishment and stallions will be offered, all heavily staked to the Michigan Sire Stakes program, as well as to the top programs around the U.S. and Canada. This allows these young Michigan stars to go beyond our borders and continue to show the rest of the world just how great a Michigan bred can be. So call for a catalog, mark your calendar, so you don't miss out on history.
Winning begins at Bonley Farm with world-class stallions, champion broodmares, and a close personal relationship between horses and Bonley Farm's dedicated staff. Add superior nutrition and health care and see why Bonley Farm is your best choice for future victory. Select your 1999 winners from Bonley Farm's yearling consignments, selling September 12th. Call now for videos and catalogs.
We can't grow hair on a billiard ball, but we can make baldness a thing of the past. I'm Dr. Christopher Cole. If hair loss bothers you, investigate the micro and mini grafting technique. Your own perfectly natural looking growing hair. Look good and feel great. Wash it, cut it, perm it, dye it. Style your restored hair any way you want.
Take advantage of the favorable U.S. exchange rate, just 20 minutes from the bridge or tunnel. For a free consultation, call the Cole Clinic for Hair Transplants.
On Michigan farms, we grow racehorses that compete and win all over the world. Exciting, rewarding racehorses, an absorbing and thrilling pursuit your family can share and love. An exhilarating investment with rewards beyond money. Find out how you can own a racehorse. Call toll-free 1-888-898-6442. Michigan Standard Bred Breeders Association. We grow racehorses for you and the rest of the world.
You're watching Michigan Hoof Beats this week from the Midland County Fair.
Butch, this is a nice little filly.
Really a nice filly, yes.
You wanted the front today?
Yes, on a half-mile track, I'd like it, yeah.
Okay, tell me about this filly.
You know, Darryl Wright's supposed to drive her, and he got tied up at Adler, and I got lucky as the devil to drive her. She's just very, very nice filly.
You handled her okay? Rodney took care of her real good?
Yeah, oh yeah, Rodney and his wife, yeah, they take good care of her.
Who's this little guy right here?
That's my son, Don.
Okay, congratulations, Butch. Let me get over here. Here's Rodney right here. Derek? Rod? Yeah, you said this filly was really coming on. I guess she is.
Real happy with her, Marty.
I see your wife is here and she's taking care of her as well?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so congratulations. We're going to see you in the fall at Hazel Park Raceway. Okay, and now let's take a look at the other winners in the Spartan Futurity here in Midland.
In the Spartan Futurity for 2-year-old trotters, Mr. Blackwell with Dan Davidson in the bike, off for almost 3 weeks, gets up in the final stride to nip a stubborn Corwin snub in 2:03.1. Mr. Blackwell now has 6 wins and 9 starts with over $38,000 in purse earnings for Cumbray Farm of Linden. In the 3-year-old filly trot, Rawhide Rita wins the Spartan Futurity. The 3-year-old bay filly by Superman is owned by Putnam and Kitchen Master, trained by Joe Bamberger, and was driven by Rex Putnam Jr., winning here in 2:02.1. In the 3-year-old Colt Pace, Dan Davidson picks up his second Spartan Futurity trophy of the afternoon, going 3 wide at the 3/4 pole with TC Moonbeam, winning here in 1:59.2. The son of Lon Todd Hanover is owned by Tom and Tim Cockrell of Carroll.
Well, that's going to do it for us from Midland. Charlie Klein really knows how to put on a show. Some really good races here this afternoon. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be looking for you next week at the fair when we head to Ludington on Michigan Hoof Beats.
Michigan Hoof Beats, highlighting the best of harness racing at the fairs. Michigan Hoof Beats, brought to you by the Michigan Harness Horsemen's Association, the Michigan Standard Bred Breeders Association, Hazel Park Raceway, the Bonley Farm, Oldfield Farm, the Great Lakes Sales Company, and the Cole Hair Clinic.